What's going on, everybody? John here at Havoc Maker Studio and FNP Wargamers. All right, so today, just fresh off the internet press, Scarlet Witch CP63. So, as predicted, her card dropped this week, which means that we'll probably see Quicksilver next week, maybe the week after, but I think next week we'll see him. I think also this week we're going to probably start seeing the first panels to play for the Sinister Six. I don't know if that's what they're calling them. The Carnage, Mysterio, Craven, the Hunter, and the Lizard. I think we're going to start seeing those this week. I can't think of any other cards or any other upcoming immediate characters that will be coming up, so to speak. I think some people are saying that when Sam Wilson's version of Captain America or Falcon, Captain America, however you want to look at it, he's Captain America, will have another character with him. I think he's going to be by himself, along the same lines as, say, Peter Quill, Star-Lord. I think it's going to be in his own separate box, which is going to be fine. That'll be well worth buying that box by itself. But I think the Sinister Six we'll start seeing those panel play starting this week. That's my guess. And coming up very soon, I also think that we'll start seeing Moon Knight. I think we're going to see more of Miss Marvel. And I know we've already saw Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel, in her classic "I'm here, I'm a hero" pose. I think we're going to see her in her giant growth form. Whenever she's going big and biggin. I'm not even sure exactly how she says. I'll have to watch like the Rising Stars cartoon to see exactly how she says it. But I think that's going to be the first character we're going to see with the giant growth ability, or we'll probably see. I think after that we might see Giant Man as Ant-Man, or we might see, I think it's Ben Foster, played by Lawrence Fishburne in the Ant-Man and Wasp movie. I think it was Ben Foster. Anyways, he was Giant Man. Though I don't know if he's still alive in the comics. He was killed by the clone Thor during the first Civil War. So I don't know. And then, of course, there is talks in some groups, and I treat this with a grain of salt. They were saying Masters of Evil, but I think it might end up being the Thunderbolts. But we might see Atlas appear. He's a classic Avengers villain that can grow and get super strong and all that stuff. We might see Atlas later on down the line. But we're not here to talk about all that stuff. We want to talk about Scarlet Witch. Let's look at how awesome she is. So, real quick look. There are no differences on her healthy side or her dazed side. So we're just going to read from, as usual, from top to bottom, left to right, all of her abilities. So Scarlet Witch, Wanda Maximoff, 6 health, medium movement, which is good because she has an innate power. I'm going to go ahead and preview right now for you guys. She can fly, if you didn't already notice. So that's really good. That gives her some really good mobility. She's size 2. That's predictable. And threat 5, or 5 points for those of you that like to say points. That's costly. I think the Hulk is 6. And I think Thanos is 6 as well. That's costly. She's going to be powerful. So let's talk about how powerful she is. Well, we'll get there in a moment. Let's talk about her defenses, which are really good. She's got a 3 on the physical defense, which is that's about average, maybe a little bit above average. But her energy and her mystic is a 4. That's really good, especially when we combine it with one of her other powers that increases the odds of success. All right, so her first attack is the Hex Bolt. This is a very basic attack that she does. Range 4. That's a good one. And 6 dice for 0 power. Very, very, very good attack. I'm going to tell you right now. As typical, after the attack is resolved, whether you did damage or not, well, in this case, you have to do damage. You gain power equal to the damage dealt. Now, regardless of the damage dealt, she has an ability called Chaos Magic. And right now, it's hard to see the symbol, but it looks like the skull symbol. So that's your critical failure on the 8-sided dice. So after this attack is resolved, for each of these critical failures in the attack roll, the target character gains one of the following special conditions: bleed, hex, incinerate, or poison. So let me tell you, if you're not familiar, especially those of you that like to listen while you're driving, bleed, you suffer 1 damage at the end of each of your activations. So basically every time that you can mess with the character, you can do your double action, your 2 actions in a round. That means at the end of all that, they're going to take 1 bleed unless you shake it off, which requires an action. Next up, you can get the hex ability or status effect, and the character doesn't roll additional dice for its critical successes results. Doesn't roll additional dice. So if you get a critical success for attack, defense, or dodge rolls while you have the hex status effect on you, you don't get to roll it. Normally you would be able to get the critical success and then you get to roll it 1 more time to try to get an additional success. With hex, it stops it cold. Incinerate. The character removes 1 die from its defense rolls. That sucks. And poison. The character loses 1 power during the power phase. That really, really sucks. So you need to spend an action to shake all that off, guys. You do not want those status effects. And she gets to place one of those, whether she caused damage or not, for every critical failure that she rolled. So even if she is failing, she's succeeding. That's how awesome this is. Cruel Twist, another mystic attack, range 3, 8 dice worth of potential damage with 6 power cost. That's a little costly, but given what it does, it makes sense. So the defending character does not add critical success results in its defense roll to its total successes, and you cannot add additional dice to its defense rolls as a result of the critical success. So if you get any critical successes during defending, you don't get to roll the dice, you don't get to count them, nothing happens. You're taking this damage. Additionally, if she happens to roll a critical failure, so once again, even with failing, she's succeeding. She has reality contortion as long as she rolls one of the critical failure dice. Change one of the defending character's critical success, their defense, or their wild side or the wild results to a blank. So she is just stripping you of your defenses, guys and gals. Just stripping of it. So you really are down to, at the end of the day, you are losing 12% success rate off your defenses, and really another 12%. I don't know if that really counts as 24%. I think there's let somebody with bigger math change that, but you're losing a lot. Hell, just losing 12% is enough. So let's get into her superpower. Her first one does not cost an action. It's telekinesis. 3 power. You can choose an interactive terrain feature of size 4 or less. That means a building, a car, a lamppost, whatever, within range 3 of her, and throw it medium range. And it can only be used once per turn. That's pretty cool. If you've got a lot of power to burn, man, throw that, make that person dodge, and more than likely they're just going to take the damage. I mean, that's a good way to get rid of a building, get rid of a terrain feature maybe somebody's hiding behind or hiding on top of. That's actually not too bad of a power. And size 4 and throw it range medium. Ah, Jesus. Okay, so her reactive power is Curse, costs 2 power, and it doesn't cost an action. When this character is damaged by an enemy effect, after the effect is resolved, you may use this superpower. Okay, so you have to take damage. The attacking character gains the Judgment special condition. Now, Judgment, the character does not gain power when suffering damage from enemy attacks. So normally, if you take some damage, which in this case, she'll take damage, for every point of damage she takes, she gains an extra point of power. So the Judgment people that have that special condition on, they're not going to gain their power, which sucks unless they shake it off. But she has 3 and 8 powers. I'm going to skip over to 1 so we can talk about that. The Hex Field. Enemy characters performing a shake action while within range 3 of this character may not remove the hex, judgment, or poison special conditions. So if she's in range of that person that just damaged her, if she's within range 3, they're not going to be able to shake that off. And if she already hex blast them, there's a good chance that they already has hex or poison or both on there. She's going to really mess with people. Her innate ability, the other innate ability that I passed over was the Chosen of Chthon. And this is another one where she's going to be able to, her defensive abilities are really going to kick in. So when she's attacking, defending, or dodging, this character adds critical failure results in its roll to its total successes. So earlier when I was talking about the Hex Bolt and Cruel Twist, and you count if she gets a critical failure dice on there, she'll be able to pop off Chaos Magic or Reality Contortion. Those critical failures count as successes for attacking and defending. So she just increased her defenses and attack abilities by 12%. It doesn't sound like a lot, but when there's only 8 different things on the dice that you can get, and if you're attacking 2 of those are out, so there goes 24%. That leaves you with what, 76% chance of success, if I'm doing my math right. Or if she's defending, 76% chance of success. That's awesome. I'll let you guys with the big math heads, you figure out if I'm doing that math right, but I'm pretty sure that math is right. So you pull out your 2 hits or your 2 defense modifiers on those dice. I think that's what each of the dice have. That really increases your chances of success, even just 12%. Even if I'm wrong, a little bit wrong on those actual dice values, 12% is a huge factor. So in her last power, I already kind of mentioned in the beginning, she has the flight special ability, which if you're not familiar, flight allows you to fly over obstacles and not lose your movement. So normally if I wanted to move over, say, or get on top of a building, I'd have to get to the edge of the building I would use this short range ruler to determine how far, if I can get on top of the building or not, no matter what. But if you have the fly ability or wall crawler, you can use your normal movement. So you don't have to get closer to the building. You can actually be far away to land on top, if that makes sense. So let me know what you guys think of this character. Is she going to be hitting your roster? Excuse me. As a member of A-Force, Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, and Avengers, I wonder if she is going to make it to each of those team affiliations. I think so. I don't think she was ever with the Defenders, ever. So I don't think we'll see her on there. But she definitely has been a member of the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. She was around when they were first formed, and her brother, Quicksilver, Toad, and Pyro, which we haven't seen Pyro yet, but it'll be interesting to see them in a Blob, of course, which I have a feeling they're going to be our next X-Men villains coming down later down the line. We'll see the Blob and Pyro in a pack together. Or she's been in A-Force, so that'll be interesting, making that roster huge. And of course, she's been an Avenger. She, after some period of time, I think it was back in the 70s, her and Quicksilver actually joined the Avengers. They've been on and off again throughout the Avengers history, through the decades. So it'll be interesting to see, and they might have already said it and I just missed it. And so let me know down in the comments. So while you're on your way down to the comments, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and give it a thumbs up or thumbs down and leave a comment. We're almost at 100 followers here at Havoc Maker Studio, our first 100 followers. Once we get there, we're going to do our first giveaway. All right, we're almost there. We've gotten nearly 40 new subscribers in less than 30 days, which is really good. It's good growth, and the more people that are subscribing, the more people that leave comments and leave thumbs up, the more the algorithms highlight the channel and bring it to everybody else's attention. And that means more subscribers. And more subscribers means more followers. And then that means more giveaways. Not only here on YouTube, but also on Twitch. That's all down below. And once we get up to a certain threshold here, that also means that we might be having some giveaways. I have to talk to the other owners of FNP Wargamers, but start doing some giveaways. Once I think one of the goals we had talked about was hitting 3,000, get to our first 3,000 subscribers on FNP Wargamers, which we are very, very close to doing. So help us out. Get those subscriptions in there. Doesn't cost you anything, but it does give you the opportunity to get some free stuff later on down the line. All right, guys and gals, you have a wonderful day. I'll be back probably around noon. We're going to do a live show because Warhammer, well, not Warhammer, but Games Workshop's doing Warhammer Fest today all the way through Saturday. I've got a prediction video coming up later on today, and we'll see if any of that happens. You guys have a wonderful day, and I'll see you probably in about an hour. Talk to you later.